Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about my top 12. I'm laughing because I tried to get this down to my top 10 spring palettes, but even the person that I saw do this, Samantha March, she couldn't do it. So I figured, you know what? It's okay that I have 12 as well. So this was definitely inspired by Samantha March, and in case you guys don't know, she has a collaboration with Ofra. I don't have it. I am gonna get my hands on this. It is beautiful, and it's definitely screaming springtime to me. So can we just add this to the list, even though I haven't tried it? It's Sam though. It's gonna be good. So just in case you guys didn't know or haven't seen her talk about this launch, this palette looks beautiful and definitely appropriate for the springtime. Congratulations to you, Samantha. I mean, you're killing it. You're killing it. But without further ado, I'm going to be talking about 12 palettes that I think are super appropriate for the springtime. I try to do like a little mixture, but definitely pinks, purples. I have a few other things in here, but just things that scream spring to me. And then I obviously have so many more that I could talk about, but I tried to keep it down to a minimum. And then I also tried to keep it to palettes that either are in stock or will be returning. Like it's not something that's just gone. All right, and these are in absolutely no particular order. The first one is from Tarte. I have been obsessing over this palette. It is the Tartelette Juicy palette, the weirdest name. This palette is so beautiful. Definitely pink themed, but then you have some warmer tones and some neutral tones in here. And if you didn't get the Aspen Ovard palette, this is the palette for you. If you check out my, is it a dupe for Aspen Ovard? I literally got like the same exact look as one of my go-to looks from that palette. This is just gorgeous. You can get lighter tones in here with the pinks as well as deeper tones, but it's just a beautiful palette every day and definitely springtime appropriate, and it smells so good. If you wanted something a little bit bolder, because I do think that that palette and this palette have some similarities, but I do think that this is a little bit more pigmented, a little bit bolder than that palette is. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. One of my all-time favorites. It's just absolutely gorgeous. You have some peachy tones in here, pink tones, and it's so pretty. I can't even tell you how many times I have used this and talked about it. I'm sure you guys are sick of it by now, but if you want something, I really do like the Tartelette palette, but if I had to pick in terms of pinks, I like this palette a little bit, I'm like this one, a little bit more for the softer looks that I get, and it's just more every day. And this one I just think packs a little bit more of a punch, and the pinks in here I think are a little bit more vibrant. But as far as color story goes, you don't need to have both. I'm just, you know, I like makeup just a little bit. Now to switch things up a little bit, you don't have to have pink or purple to have a springtime look, and I definitely thought about this palette immediately when I thought about spring palettes, and I'm still waiting, Natasha. Natasha, if you do not come out, I think this is a threat. If you do not come out with the larger mini retro, so a full retro palette, I'm gonna do it. I have to have a larger size of this color scheme. This, like the light green, just kind of reminds me of a pastel rose. And then you have these really just very flattering neutral pinks in here. This green, the metallic one, is just beautiful. So this is more of an ethereal spring look, if you ask me. And I'm telling you, you better come out with it. You better come out with it, because I'm tired of waiting. All right. I wanted to pick one from Pat McGrath, but I wanted to do one that, you know, didn't have as many shades, wasn't as expensive, and I actually really like this formula of this new palette. It is the Divine Rose Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden. This is the newest one. The formula of these are much softer, so if you have a harder time with the matte that Pat usually produces, These are softer, and the metallics, this one right here is definitely more intense. This one is softer, but this is going to give you a softer or bolder look depending on how you apply them. And I really love this. It's just gorgeous. You could get something similar to what I have on my eyes right now. Love this. Moving on to purples though, my absolute, bar none, I cannot think of a purple palette that beats this. This palette is the most effortless and blendable and pigmented when it comes to the purples. I mean, the entire palette is good, but this is the Viseart Violette palette, and I'm telling you, best purple palette I've ever tried in my life. It looks like my eyes are edited, and this definitely screams springtime to me. I want this on my eyes right now. Actually, I mean, I really like this look. Let's talk about that palette next. But yeah, purple, just go for this. Get it, get it, get it. It's amazing. But what is on my eyes right now? I gotta take a moment. I'm falling hard for OMA Beauty. This palette right here, I just got it. I've got it on my eyes right now. It blends like a dream, and the colors in here are stunning. This is the Coming to America 2 palette. And look at this. You've got one gold in here, so not too much. And then you have the purple, the pinks, the transition shades. I love this. And I'm telling you, just wait. I have a dedicated review coming, and I'm wearing one of the lipsticks right now. It's so pretty. It is so, so pretty. The sparkle in these first three are just absolutely gorgeous. The mattes blend out like a dream. I'm giving you... I'm giving you my review right now, but I'm going to do 2 looks, including this one right here, and I'll show you guys the lipsticks. But this for spring is absolutely gorgeous. Now, something a little different. It's a little deeper, but then it has this like a duochrome in it. This is the Pretty Baby palette from Tom Ford. I'm just going to swatch just this shade right here. All right, this... Do you see that? It's like one of those mermaid shades. Ah! And then you have this beautiful like taupey purple, a purple, and then a brown. So it's a little bit more of it's not an in-your-face color palette or a color scheme, but the purple and then this mermaid shade just makes it so beautiful. And if you really blend these out and just kind of blow them out and then you top it with the mermaid shade, it's so, so pretty. This is one of the more unique, I think, when it comes to the non-wet dry formulas. The Pretty Baby palette is just beautiful. This one I had to check to see if it was still in stock. I found it on QVC. I don't even know if it's on the Sigma site. I bought this because of Glitzy Fritzy Mary. She is a really good friend of mine, and I was not interested in this. I'm telling you, the pictures that I saw online, they make it look more orangey or warm or something. And I saw her swatching it. I was like, I have to have that. I have to have that. And I'm so glad that I did. This is the Cor-De-Rosa palette, again, from Sigma. It is beautiful. You've got pinks, purples, peaches in here. You have the warmer tones as well. This palette is definitely, it's one that I would say is underrated. This palette is gorgeous and performs absolutely beautifully. If you would like to see this in action, again, I do have a video, but this has more of a variety of shades in here. So if you're looking for more than just pink or just purple, you can get a plethora of looks with the Cor-De-Rosa palette. This palette isn't loved by everyone, but I like it. I really like it. I find it to be just like a little bit softer. I like that it's more of cool tones and still color at the same time. And it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This to me is beautiful. I think that this color, like this periwinkle, ooh, this just blown out all over the eye. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I need. Just this shade right here, all over. I really love the tones that were chosen for this palette. Some of them kind of remind me of the soft glam, like these down here. But when you're just looking at this top row and then these, yes, it's like pastel, but a little deeper not as light. I don't know how to describe it other than a colorful, lighter, pastel, cooler toned, springy palette. And then this is another one that I thought of immediately, and then I had to go check because I wasn't sure. I was like, is this a limited edition palette or not? It is from Huda Beauty. It's one of my favorites. It is the Mercury Retrograde. This has got you covered with blues, purples, pinks, peaches, everything. Again, kind of like the Cor-De-Rosa, but if I was going to pick between the Cor-De-Rosa and this one, I would have to go with this one. I love all the different textures in here. I love this light purple. This is like spring in a palette. It's just like, thank you. And it gives you so many options. I love this one. I feel like I need to grab for this a little bit more, especially now that, again, it is spring. We're actually waiting on a bunch of, there's a bunch of storms this morning, tornadoes hitting Alabama, and they're like coming through. I'm like, ooh, it just like makes me so nervous. All right, this one right here. I would not purchase this for the trio chromes, the multi-chromes. I don't think that they're pretty, but I think that there's definitely far superior, even in her liquid eyeshadow formula. But I would pick this palette up for the mattes. I actually really love the mattes in here. So if you're looking for more pastels and you love matte shades, this gives you a softer look. As you can see, you've got these beautiful, like it's a lime green, but it's a little bit lighter, and then this minty one, this more grungy yellowy green, the purples, the peaches, the mauvey tone, the deeper purples, and you've got the green up here, the orange, and then these shades in the middle do shift, but I wouldn't say that they are true multi-chromes. The truest one is the one up top, but if you are good with just having the mattes, then I really like this palette. And this is what I was talking about. It reminds me of the SURRATT palette. I would absolutely include the Evening Standard palette that I just got from Beautylish. I'll insert a picture of it, but I haven't used it yet, so I don't want to include that just because I haven't used it yet. And then I can't not put this in here. And so also thank you to Samantha March for including this palette. But my Tiny Marvels palette. This was literally made for spring. And then, you know, the C word happened and it came out later than anticipated. But my Tiny Marvels palette, this will definitely be restocked. Do not worry. We've talked about it with Sydney Grace and I. And basically, it's limited, but it's going to be limited life. As long as you guys are wanting it, it will be restocked. If it, you know, you guys stop having interest, well then it's going to be gone. So that's how it's going to go. I always want to be 100% with you guys, but I thought about spring whenever I was creating this palette. Obviously bugs and my tattoos and everything, but I love this palette. I'm a little biased, but I also absolutely love Sydney Grace. I'll let you guys know when there's going to be another restock, but I had to put this in here. I know it's like a shameless plug, but I mean, I had to. Anywho, I love all of you, and in case you missed my last video, I do want to thank everybody for all of your love and support once again. You have no idea. I was reading through some of the comments, and they absolutely lifted me up, warmed my heart, and thank you. I have no words. I have absolutely no words other than thank you. It means the world to me, and getting that off of my chest was a very, 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 very much needed thing. Anywho, please check out Samantha's video. I will link it in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed my spring palette recommendations. Hopefully you have some of these in your collections. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, guys.